Me as soon as summer break hits.
All he's missing is a glass of wine.
So we still have those bagels, but Nathan thought it was appropriate to get some breakfast today. So let's go do that right now.
Gonna order me some buttercup biscuits.
You might recognize the building behind me. That is the White House. The US president lives there sometimes, and he also conducts most of his business right there. Just like in Bruges, we are not the only ones here. All right, Nathan, we love fun facts on this channel. Tell us one.
Every US president but George Washington lived here.
We weren't able to visit the White House, but we went to the White House Visitor Center.
You need to request a tour for the White House, the US Capitol, the Washington Monument, and other select destinations through your local congressman. We requested ours a little over a month in advance and never heard back from our congressman.
Guess who's not getting my vote? If you're from Mexico, can you recognize this president? Did you know that there are 3 Oval Offices in the White House? However, the ones that you see in movies and shows and all that is not actually there. It is right there. How many presidents do you recognize?
Behind me, standing at 555 feet and 5 inches tall, is the Washington Monument. It was the tallest man-made structure in the world for 5 years and remains the tallest structure here in D.C. by local ordinance. Nothing can be built higher. You can notice that it was built in 3 separate phases by looking at the stonework. Notice the 3 separate colors as you go up. We're at our next stop, Ford's Theater.
Located in the heart of DC, Ford's Theater is not only a historical landmark, it is also the site where one of the most pivotal events in American history took place, the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln.
After the Civil War, John Wilkes Booth, a Confederate sympathizer, entered the presidential box, fired a shot, and then dramatically leaped from the balcony to escape. Lincoln was rushed across the streets to the Peterson House, where he tragically passed away the following day. With live performances still happening in the theater today, Ford's Theater continues to honor Abraham Lincoln's legacy while offering a space for reflection on the Civil War and its lasting effects.
So we got in line and everything was fine. Our timed entry was at 1 o'clock. It was a big group. As soon as you enter, you'll go down to a museum. There's a lot of history in that museum, and I thought it was very interesting. There are also a few videos to watch. However, for some reason, there is a sign pointing you towards the theater, and once you get there, there's a door, and it's a door to the outside. So I'm not really sure what was going on. We didn't get to see the theater, but we still learned a lot. Anyway, we are now on our way to the National Portrait Museum. Welcome to one of the most iconic art destinations in the world. It was established in 1962, and as the name suggests, it is dedicated to celebrating the faces and figures that have left their mark on the United States.
The best part, like many of the museums we have visited in this Washington, D.C. series so far, admission is free.
This is me lounging around the house in my master's degree gown.
We'll be back here later for some women's history trivia. We're gonna do terrible.
Are you ready?
finished up at the National Portrait Gallery in the Smithsonian American Art Museum. It's one building, one experience. Make a reservation for just the one. It's free, but it was a lot of fun. We enjoyed ourselves. We also did their trivia night. I think it's a monthly experience. This month's theme was women's history. We did not win as expected. We're horrible at trivia, but we did get an honorable mention for one of the funniest answers. So kudos to us.
We're having tacos for breakfast today.
Good morning. We are starting our day at the zoo today. It is supposed to rain, but that didn't stop Nathan from scheduling all outdoor activities today.
We will be spending the second half of our day at the National Air and Space Museum, so that'll be indoors.
We're the only ones here.
We are. They opened up about 10 minutes late, so that wasn't a great initial experience. And then they have maps. You can pay $5 for maps, but that's not open. I don't know when it opens or if it opens, so we're just gonna wander aimlessly.
The hyenas are here.
I think the animals have all gotten the notice that it's gonna rain today and that it's cold, so we might not see much.
So instead, I guess I'm just gonna show you statues. Here you can see the American porcupine, but he's well camouflaged. Can you see him? There's a bear right there, and there's a puma right there.
Yeah, but it's escaped from its exhibit. It says here that binturong smell like buttered popcorn. I wanna own one.
The lions and the tigers are taking their morning walks.
That is a brave duck.
Me as soon as summer break hits.
All he's missing is a glass of wine.
Hi. That's exactly how I feel about this weather. The National Air and Space Museum is a place where history, science, and technology collide to tell the incredible stories of human ingenuity, exploration, and discovery in the air and beyond.
This is one of the most visited museums in the world, with more than 8 million visitors a year. It's the crown jewel of air and space history, and today we're going to dive deep into the fascinating exhibits, iconic artifacts, and mind-blowing achievements that make it so special.
This museum was packed. You could barely move.
Let's begin with one of the museum's most famous exhibits, the Wright brothers' 1903 Flyer, the first airplane to achieve powered control flight. Can you imagine what it must have been like to take to the skies for the very first time? This aircraft marks the beginning of a century of aviation progress, and you can see it up close right here. And speaking of aviation breakthroughs, the museum is home to many of the most iconic aircraft in history. From the Spirit of St. Louis, which made Charles Lindbergh's historic solo flight across the Atlantic possible, to the Concorde, one of the fastest commercial airliners ever built, the museum showcases the evolution of flight.
They were doing construction at the museum, so half of the exhibits were closed.
But it's not just about the skies. As you walk through the museum, you'll also be surrounded by the incredible stories of humanity's leap into space. Right here, we have the Apollo 11 Command Module, the very spacecraft that carried Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins on their historic journey to the moon.
Of course, a museum isn't just about looking, it's about experiencing. With hands-on exhibits, simulators, and interactive displays, visitors can feel what it's like to be an astronaut, a pilot, or an engineer. Have you ever been to this museum? What's your favorite part about it? Drop a comment below and let us know.
We just finished at the Air and Space Museum and I am exhausted. I am so hungry too, but luckily it stopped raining. Let's go get some dinner. We came all the way to Alexandria, Virginia for some pizza. Hopefully it is delicious.
It was good, but we still loved our other pizza experience a little bit more.
I'm standing here outside the Lincoln Memorial, which is not only a popular tourist destination, but also a gathering place for many major events, most notably the March on Washington, where Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. As a fun fact, you'll find the words "I have a dream" on the floor within the memorial. Also in the memorial, you'll find Lincoln's second inaugural address, as well as the Gettysburg Address. These are to signify some of Lincoln's greatest accomplishments. He led our country through the Civil War and held the Union together. And he wrote the Emancipation Proclamation, which was a step toward equality, which is a battle we continued to fight 100 years later with Martin Luther King Jr. and continue to fight today. And we'll probably be fighting for the rest of our lives. Also attached to the Lincoln Memorial is the reflecting pool. Although it wasn't completed construction until after the inauguration of the memorial, it is the most photographed location here in Washington, D.C. and looks out upon the beautiful Washington Monument, and just beyond it you'll find the Capitol Dome.
This is the Korean War Memorial, which features 19 stainless steel statues of soldiers representing a squad on patrol, capturing the harsh conditions they faced. The statues are surrounded by a granite wall engraved with over 2,500 service members' names. The memorial also includes a reflective pool and a wall of remembrance, creating a somber space for reflection. It symbolizes the sacrifices of those who fought in the war and serves as a lasting tribute to their bravery. We are now at the Vietnam War Memorial, which honors the over 58,000 U.S. service members who died or went missing in the Vietnam War. Dedicated in 1982, it is best known for its striking black granite wall, designed by architect Maya Lin. The wall is inscribed with the names of the fallen, listed in chronological order by the date of death or last day of service. In addition to the wall, the memorial includes the 3 servicemen statue, representing the diversity of those who served, and the Vietnam Women's Memorial, honoring the contributions of women, particularly nurses. The Vietnam War Memorial serves as a place of reflection, healing, and remembrance for veterans, families, and visitors. So, remember earlier when we were so upset that we didn't get to see the theater? Well, guess what? We got tickets. We're gonna see the Little Shop of Horrors because ain't no man gonna stop me from seeing the inside of that theater. Hey, all you wanderers out there, thanks for watching our channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe to find out where we're bound to next. And remember, feed me Seymour.